Department for Culture, Media, and Sport has accepted recommendations from the Law Commission for crimes to be based on likely psychological harm. So first off, who decides what is psychological harm? Like, hypothetically, if someone's fan base wouldn't stop comparing them to a Who from the live-action Grinch movie, hypothetically, wouldn't that be considered psychological harm? And could I hypothetically have them all arrested? Like, is the government the hurt feelings police now? Is this the UK? Oh, it is the UK. This is happening in the UK. Alright, that checks out. I don't care anymore, moving on. Joe Biden still hasn't cured cancer like he promised, but he did get rid of that pesky orange tumor in the White House. 10 people died being crushed to death while attending Travis Scott's Astroworld Festival. Survivors recall feeling like they were drowning in a sea of panicked crowds and stepping over dead bodies while the concert refused to stop. Among those who died tragically was actually a child. And a few days later, Hulu already had a multi-part documentary series about it ready to go. The devil works fast, but capitalism works faster. It took decades, but they finally identified the Zodiac Killer, and it was just some guy. Just some f***ing guy. Like, I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't just some f***ing guy. I don't know. Gotta say, little disappointed. Turkmenistan's perpetually burning sinkhole, the Gates of Hell, may at last be snuffed out. The fiery hole, which has been burning since the 1970s, stretches 230 feet wide. Oh wow, they wrote an article about your mom! Oh, don't be mad, they wrote an article about you too. To reduce targeted dislike attacks and their impact on creators, especially smaller creators, you'll no longer see a public dislike count on YouTube starting today. The internet really is becoming Weenie Hut Juniors, isn't it? If the creators can still see the dislikes, then it's not for mental health like they're claiming. It's obviously for protecting the image of the White House, media outlets, corpos, etc., who would otherwise have the facade of being trusted and well-liked. So since you can't see dislikes on videos anymore, if you dislike this video, go ahead and just write dislike in the comments so I can find your comment, track your IP address, hunt you down, and set your house on fire. But honestly, who cares about likes and dislikes when none of this is probably even real? Creepy conspiracy theory claims the internet died years ago. Not only that, but everything online is generated by bots. This theory states that the internet as we know it actually died somewhere between 2016 and 2017. However, this doesn't mean that the internet is gone necessarily. Rather, most of the people we see online doing things like publishing content, posting social media updates, and commenting are actually bots. Behind the death of the internet are corporations working in conjunction with the government to push propaganda and coerce actual users to purchase products. Hell, you might not be real. I might not be real. This could all be a simulation. You might be a bot. I might be a bot. If I shoot myself in the head, nothing will happen because I'm not real. Sweden picks its first female prime minister. Oh, nice! Congratulations! Sweden's first female prime minister resigns hours after appointment. Oh. The first female F-35 pilot proves flying is a gender equalizer. Oh, nice! Congratulations! The world's first female F-35 fighter pilot crashed a plane on its first flight. Oh. Don't be discouraged, ladies. We can do anything men can do. In fact, we could do things men can never do, like sell our farts for thousands of dollars. A woman who made $37,000 a week selling farts is hospitalized for trying to fart too much. The Marxist political scientist Michael Parenti once wrote, "The essence of capitalism is to turn nature into commodities and commodities into capital." Perhaps no one knows this more intimately than 90 Day Fiancé star Stephanie Matto, a YouTuber turned adult content creator who claims to have made upwards of $200,000 selling her farts in jars. Well, I'm not selling farts, but I do have limited-a-time merchandise. They're made by a co-op and drawn by my friend, and there's only 1,000 of them. So get them now before they're gone. Link in the description. Fart jar not included.
A prototype lickable TV in Japan could lead to people being able to taste what they see on TV. The machine is programmed with recipes, allowing it to replicate the taste of 20 different kinds of food. And as the COVID-19 pandemic continues to push on, he said the technology could allow people to experience the outside world even when stuck at home.
Sorry kids, we can't go to Applebee's because of lockdown, so just gather around and let's lick the TV screen. What the f***? I honestly don't care, call me when they can imitate the flavor of clown girl butt and fishnets. Otherwise, not interested. Kyle Rittenhouse was found not guilty of shooting 3 black men in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Are you sure? Kyle Rittenhouse was found not guilty of shooting 3 men in Kenosha, Wisconsin. This, of course, sets a dangerous precedent. In Kenosha, Wisconsin, it is now legal to kill people who are trying to kill you. 15-year-old Ethan Crumbley took a gun to school and shot 4 of his classmates dead. It was tragic and horrifying, but that didn't stop the media from being the media.
One post from Ethan Crumbley declares, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. See you tomorrow, Oxford." The quotation can be found in a gory video game.
I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
"Now I am become death, destroyer of worlds" is a quote from Robert Oppenheimer after the world's first nuclear detonation. It is literally one of the most infamous quotes in history. But sure, it was once in a video game, I guess. Stop blaming video games for bad parenting and mental health, please. It's 2022, not 1998. Or is it? Considering a Tennessee pastor just organized an old-fashioned book burning. I thought we were past blaming video games for violence and burning books we disagreed with, but I guess not. Among the books burned were Harry Potter and Twilight. Oh. Well, in that case. Also, in more Tennessee news, what the f*** is up with Tennessee? You guys alright? A school board in Tennessee banned a Pulitzer Prize-winning graphic novel that taught the horrors of the Holocaust, citing that it had curse words in it. Oh. See? It wasn't banned because it taught about the Nazis. It was banned because it was degenerate. MoviePass will track people's eyes through their phone cameras to make sure they don't look away from ads.
You know what's best. What's best is you comply.
The new service will use facial recognition and eye tracking technology to ensure that viewers' eyes are looking at the promoted content in exchange for access to films. The tracking will happen only on the user's device with the digital currency then going to a virtual wallet. The facial recognition algorithm, using the phone's cameras, will make sure the user is not ignoring the advert. As I'm looking at it, it's playing back, but if I stop and I'm not paying attention to it, it actually pauses the content. Black Mirror was a documentary. I have never actually seen Black Mirror, so someone had the brilliant idea to mix education about the civil rights movement and, wait for it, Fortnite. And it went exactly how you would expect.
To join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today.
Speaking of MLK, it was actually MLK Day a few weeks ago, and everybody on Twitter was sharing historical quotes from him and saying that if he was alive today, he would agree with all their opinions. But my favorite post of that day had to be this. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others?" This MLK Day and every day, the FBI remains dedicated to service and committed to protecting our communities. Wow, very cool. For more information, Google Martin Luther King Jr. FBI. Doctors transplant a pig heart into a human in world-first operation. And yet the left will still say that all cops are bad, even after one donates his whole heart to save a life. Okay, I feel like we're a little too harsh on cops on this channel, okay? Not all cops are bad. Obviously, some are great. Take this heartwarming story, for example. This child was lost during the violent riots in Philadelphia, wandering around barefoot in an area that was experiencing complete lawlessness. The only thing this Philadelphia police officer cared about in that moment was protecting this child. We are not your enemy. We are the thin blue line, and we are the only thing standing between order and anarchy. Nursing aide Rakia Young was headed home in the early morning hours of October 27, 2020, when she unknowingly drove into a large protest over the police killing of Walter Wallace Jr. She tried to make a three-point turn to get away from the tense scene when officers smashed out her windows with their batons, according to her attorneys. Young was handcuffed and separated from her teenage nephew and 2-year-old son for several hours, and no one was ever charged or cited. The hearing-impaired toddler lost his hearing aids during the tussle. So they f***ing stole a kid to fabricate some sappy-ass story in order to make themselves look better. Hell! Directly